Hey everyone, I'm the Canadian Lad, and today I watched Star Trek by J.J. Abrams, the reboot at 0.25x speed, and found 19 incredible hidden details that you may or may not have seen before. I'm a massive Star Trek fan, and it's a shame I never made a breakdown on these films. So if you lads do like this video and want me to continue, I will be watching the rest of the Star Trek movies at 0.25x speed as well. But first, please spare me just 60 seconds to thank today's sponsor, Star Trek Fleet Command. If you lads want a first-hand experience journeying alongside Kirk, Spock, Picard, and Janeway, and you enjoy strategy games, I highly recommend embarking on an adventure with today's video sponsor, Star Trek Fleet Command, where you can build your own fleet and explore the galaxy. This game plays seamlessly on desktop and mobile, so use my description link or scan the QR to download it for free. Well, me personally, I love strategy games, so being able to build a starbase and crew to navigate the galaxy is a fun challenge. From training to gathering resources and forming alliances, this game creates an immersive experience for players to explore the galaxy, build your fleet, and claim your legacy in the Star Trek universe. There are daily rewards and events to help you along your journey on top of your main objectives, and a 7-day login streak will reward you handsomely with Romulan Captain Nero. Plus, if you purchase a qualifying in-game bundle, you get Captain Picard for free. And you should also redeem the code Voyager30 to unlock Neelix. So use my link or scan the QR code to download the game. The galaxy needs a hero. Will you answer the call? Number 1. Chris Hemsworth plays George Kirk in the opening scene as the captain of the USS Calvin, where he sacrifices his life to save 800 people. Captain Pike later tells Kirk, "Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives, including your mother's and yours. I dare you to do better." Now, if we go back to that opening scene, Chris Hemsworth's time as captain lasts exactly 12 minutes before the Romulans destroy his ship. There was also a collision countdown of 1 minute, and almost exactly 1 minute later, the USS Calvin collides. Not many films get the timing right with their countdowns, but this one did every single time. Number 2. In the scene where Kirk takes the Kobayashi Maru test, notice he's eating an apple. Now, in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, released back in 1982, Kirk was also eating an apple while talking about his experience with the Kobayashi Maru. Although J.J. Abrams mentioned in the audio commentary that this wasn't meant as a reference to The Wrath of Khan, he was simply told that lead actors tend to look cocky eating apples. And that's how he wanted to portray Kirk in this scene. Number 3. When McCoy helps Kirk get onto the ship after making him sick on purpose, notice a Dyson Airblade hand dryer can be seen on the wall by the entrance doors. It's fascinating how they used a modern hand dryer as a part of the high-tech Enterprise setup. Also, I love how they used multiple barcode scanners on the bridge. The company that sold those scanners to Paramount was really proud of the inclusion too. Number 4. The crew on the USS Calvin uses communicators that are the same style as the ones from the original series. We can see this when the engineer walks into the frame and when George Kirk's wife contacts him during the ship's evacuation. But notice as soon as Nero alters the timeline, the communicators change drastically, implying that the story is happening in an alternate universe. Number 5. If you look closely at the engine room of the USS Enterprise, you'll notice it was filmed at the Budweiser factory in California, and the engine room of the USS Calvin was shot in an old power plant in Long Beach, California. Honestly, this is the only thing from the movie that still bugs me. For a ship so advanced, their engine room looked like it belonged in the 1930s. Number 6. Among the entire crew of the Enterprise, notice Kirk is the only one who wears just his black undershirt. Everyone else wears a colored shirt over theirs, but once Kirk is formally given command, that's when he starts wearing the colored overshirt. This is a subtle way of showing that before becoming captain, Kirk was kind of the quote-unquote black sheep of the crew, and this was a deliberate choice by the costume department. Number 7. During the Enterprise's first encounter with the Narada ship, we can spot the robot R2-D2 floating among the debris in space. This is a fun nod to Star Wars. And if you're wondering why they'd have a Star Wars reference in a Star Trek movie, it's because the success of Star Wars actually helped to get the green light for Star Trek the motion picture, which led to The Wrath of Khan and The Next Generation. Number 8. The USS Enterprise survives the initial attack by Nero's Romulan ship. But if you think about it, the only reason the Enterprise makes it is because Mrs. Sulu accidentally delays the ship by leaving the parking brake on during launch. This caused the other ships to launch on time, reach Vulcan, and get destroyed before Kirk figured out it was the Romulans and warned Captain Pike. This warning is what pushes Pike to declare Red Alert and raise the shields, which ends up saving the Enterprise. So if Mrs. Sulu hadn't made that mistake and the ship launched on time, the Enterprise would have been destroyed just like the others. And by the way, I think I said parking brakes, but I should really call it the inertial dampener. Number 9. One of the transporter officers is played by Chris Doohan, who is the son of James Doohan, the actor who famously played Scotty in Star Trek the original series. Number 10. Uhura could hear Kirk breathing while he hid under her roommate's bed. She was able to do this because of her super sharp hearing, which eventually helped her become a communications officer. Number 11. When Spock sits down to pilot the ship built by the future Spock Prime, notice the ship's cockpit is shaped like the Vulcan Idic symbol, which is a symbol for the Vulcan saying infinite diversity in infinite combinations. It's made up of a circle over a triangle inside another circle, with a star rising over a mountain creating a halo flare. This symbol was something creator Gene Roddenberry wanted to include in the original series, but he was turned down a few times because both leads thought it looked like product placement. So once again, Roddenberry was way ahead of his time with this idea. Number 12. There's another clever Easter egg that has to do with the minute 12, and that is the moment Kirk first takes his seat as acting captain of the Enterprise, exactly 12 minutes later, Spock destroys the Nevada space drill, saving everyone on Earth. It's a great parallel between father and son, as both of them saved their people exactly 12 minutes after becoming captain. Number 13. During Spock's mission, where he plans to use the red matter to destroy the Romulan ship, J.J. Abrams filmed it to make us think Spock is about to sacrifice himself to take down Captain Nero and the ship. But if you watch this scene at 0.2 Febic speed, you'll notice that Spock is actually being beamed up, but we only see it for less than a second. So if someone watched this scene in slow motion the first time, they wouldn't be surprised by the ending where everyone survives. Number 14. The USS Kelvin, on which Chris Hemsworth serves, is named after J.J. Abrams' grandfather Harry Kelvin. And if you notice, the hull number is NCC 0514, which is Harry Kelvin's birthday. This is also a scientific reference to the physicist and engineer Lord Kelvin. Number 15. To perfectly do the Vulcan salute from Spock, Zachary Quinto, who plays Spock, had his fingers glued together by J.J. Abrams. Number 16. The sound of the automatic doors opening on the USS Enterprise is actually a Russian train's toilet flushing. Number 17. In the Star Trek universe, there's a running joke about red shirts, which are characters in red uniforms whose main role is to die shortly after being introduced. And notice when Kirk and Sulu jump on the space drill, they're joined by Olsen, who's wearing a red shirt. And sure enough, he meets his end not long after. Number 18. When Spock and Spock Prime meet for the first time before the movie ends, notice a shuttlecraft in the background appears to be undergoing some sort of repairs. Now this shuttle closely resembles the Ergo shuttlecraft from Star Trek Nemesis. Also, check out the number on the shuttle that reads 12091. This corresponds to December 1991, the release date of Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country, which was the last film to feature the whole original cast. Number 19. Spock Prime's final line in the movie, "Thrusters on full," wasn't in the script. It was actually an improvisation. Originally, the scene had Spock walking away quietly and thoughtfully, but after filming that, Leonard Nimoy went to J.J. Abrams and said, "If you give me one more take, I have an idea I'd like to try." So they did, and he added "Thrusters on full" on the second take. Abrams kept it in the film and later called Nimoy to say how well it led into the final scene, especially since Sulu talks about thrusters right after. Nimoy said the line was his way of telling the younger cast, "Go ahead, take the torch and go." And that's it. This would be my breakdown of Star Trek at 0.2 Febic speed. Now if you enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up, grab the subscribe button, and turn notifications on. From next week onwards, I'll be breaking down each episode of Daredevil Born Again, so I'm extremely excited for that. Till then, I'm the Canadian Lad, and I'll see you lads in the next one.